And just as we promised, welcome back to our continuing coverage of Hurricane Ian. I'm Chris Cato.
I'm Cynthia Smoot, and let's start with the latest from Chief Meteorologist. I'll get that word out. It's late. Paul.
Yeah, usually it's my last name that's tough to say. It's 105. The good news is the trend is downwind. We've gone from 155 to 105, gone from a Cat 4 to a Cat 2, and this weakening process is probably going to begin to accelerate because the entire circulation, or I should say most of the circulation is now over land, and by tomorrow morning, this is going to actually be a tropical storm passing east of Orlando. So we'll see wind gusts, and it's been a very windy, rough night for most people, especially Hardee, DeSoto, Highlands, Polk County. But even there, the winds will slowly diminish. No change in the track. It'll continue to move northeast. We'll update this. The motion is still north-northeast at 8. The pressure continues to go up. So again, we've gone from 155 to 105, but we still have a Category 2 hurricane over the peninsula. But the trend will be by tomorrow, and by tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a tropical storm along the east coast. The rainfall amounts are incredible. Again, this is not a picture of the wind. We do know that inside this area, all of Polk County, all of Hardee, DeSoto, and Highlands, generally speaking, the wind speeds for you are running about 60 to 70 with a few higher gusts. Even around Tampa Bay, Tyler and I were looking at observations from the Bay and from MacDill and from Tampa to Nashville. Even there, the winds are slowly coming down, and because we're on the west side too of the storm, and generally speaking, except for this storm, you know, most of the weather is on the east side. So we will continue to see these winds around Hillsborough and Pinellas County gradually drop as the night moves along. The weather up in Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco, while there's been squalls going by, it's been fairly manageable. There's a lot of heavy rain east of you, if you're watching us in Inverness and Lecanto, Homosassa, Brooksville, Weeki Wachee, Spring Hill, Dade City, Zephyr Hills, Wesley Chapel. Some of these bands will kind of pivot to the west, and some squalls will go by. That's the weather in the next couple of hours. And again, around Tampa Bay, it's going to be like 40, 45 miles an hour. Generally speaking, it's tropical storm weather in both counties, in both Hillsborough and Pinellas, and improvement to our south. The rainfall is off the charts. We were showing you graphics yesterday, and we saw some numbers that admittedly made me and my weather team do a double take. I mean, it's not often when you look at model output that are putting 17, 20, 25 inches of rain on a graphic. But that's what we're looking at is rainfall potential. And then we look at it, let's see what we had so far. And we're seeing rainfall totals 19, 18. So those numbers were reasonable. I mean, and this is still raining, so when everything is said and done and we do the storm recap, there's going to be a wedge of rainfall totals that could be in some places over 2 feet. So we got major flooding issues here in the rivers, and this is all going to kind of fill in and move northeast. Can we do rainfall rates? Yeah. I mean, this is going to show rainfall rates as we go back live. And we'll do some querying on this, which is a little pixel queue, we call it, and see what the numbers are. So in that purple, you get 7 inches per hour. We make a big deal in the summer when we get a thunderstorm, and we'll get rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's a big deal. We've got 7-inch rainfall rates, and I could safely say underneath this area, it is raining as hard as you'll probably ever see it rain in your lifetime. I mean, this is about the top of the scale as far as how hard as it can rain. If it was rain like this for 2 hours, you're talking over a foot of rain. So this is going to gradually end, but when everything is said and done, we have significant freshwater flooding. Again, the wind is howling. It's noisy. It's disturbing. But when it comes to hurricanes, if you're protected from the wind, you're generally okay. The big killer in hurricanes is not the sound of the wind outside your house that's disturbing. It's avoiding water. Storm surge flooding can kill people, and well, hopefully it did not down by Fort Myers Beach and south of us. But this is the kind of rain that in areas will cause flash flooding around the country and can obviously cause loss of life in cases. So we think as long as you're not around a river that's going to overflow, you'll be okay. But there's going to be a lot of flooding. We'll continue to watch radar trends and watch the weather gradually improve tonight from west to east. And then by daybreak tomorrow, the improving process should accelerate. So still tough going. We'll have more radar updates in a bit. Back to you.
Yeah, we do look forward to that improving process tomorrow, Paul. Thank you. And thank you for those rain totals, too. That's incredible. Cleanup will be the order of the day tomorrow for a lot of people. New video here of some trees down in Valrico. This is Hillsborough County, Valrico. Some big ones have fallen, blocking roads, falling on cars. And again, as those winds pick up overnight and into the early morning hours, we'll probably see more of this, and it is driving up the power outages, too, as the strongest winds of Ian move further north now.
Well, we've been talking for days about Bay Area rivers, many of them already at flood stage because of all the rain. That was way before Ian. Let's check in right now with Fox 13's Jordan Bowen, who's been monitoring the Peace River. That, of course, flows from Polk County all the way down to Charlotte Harbor. And Jordan, tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, Cynthia, we were at the Peace River about an hour ago. The water level was not as concerning as you might think. It seemed pretty normal. So we made our way down here to downtown Bartow. We're along Central Avenue near Central and Main Street, right near the courthouse. The wind gusts have been the big story here tonight. Scott's going to pan over and show you just a little bit of what we've been seeing. We've witnessed debris scattered all over the street, just piles and piles and piles of leaves, branches. We've seen some big tree branches swept through the streets. And also, there's an awning at the Cookie Jar Bake Shop on Wilson and Main Street. We witnessed that metal awning ripped off by the wind gusts. And I want to show you just some of the debris that we've witnessed whip down the street. This is a shutter here and a piece of metal that ripped down. We watched this whip right down the street here. I want to say that we are in a safe location. We're here under a concrete building overhang. We have protection on both sides of us, so we can witness the wind gusts here in the street, but we are in a safe location. Seeing this debris, like this metal piece from a roof and this shutter, is exactly why officials don't want people walking outside the streets. We're making sure to stay back under this overhang to be safe. But the winds have just been whistling through these buildings and streets here in downtown Bartow. I know we've seen the surprising thing here is the power is still on. It's been on since we've been out here for the last few hours. But the wind has really just been gusting through these streets. Rain been coming down. We have not seen any real flooding. We saw some high water on some ponds. The Peace River was up a little bit, but it was not near the bridge. It was still at least 20 feet or so below the bridge where cars drive over. That was about an hour ago, but of course that can change. That's at least the latest here in downtown Bartow. Cynthia?
All right, thanks for checking that out for us, Jordan, and you guys continue to be safe out there while you're covering the storm.
Yeah. We know one of the hardest hit areas, at least in the Tampa